Yo, right. So one of the biggest liquidation events, probably actually was the biggest liquidation event in history of crypto, and all of this was extremely obvious, and everything was on my Twitter. First of all, on October 7th, I pointed out, finding time from Moonboy Puke, right? Pointed out these bearish divergences, pointing towards the equal lows, saying puke it. Temporarily here, could be enough anytime now, but no sign of it yet. It just hit a lot of stops and ran a marathon into it. That's all. Looks so fucking bad. 107k sweep incoming. Silly moon boys. Why 107k? Because it has bounced here one, two, three, four, 5 times, and here it got close to it, didn't sweep it. These people thought that this was gonna hold. I pointed this out, how it was not going to hold. And then it kept dropping lower and lower and lower, right? And it's obvious where it's headed, right? You already know how this ends. Welcome to the bear market. This is 11:02 p.m. Well, would you dare to guess where everything was at 11:02 p.m.? 11:02 p.m. was before everything dumped really fucking hard. Like it had dumped, but did not go through that big liquidation wick, right? So 11:02 is right here. Let's take a look at like Dogecoin, right? For an example, 11:02 is before the dump, right? So that is right here. Before it went down 57%. That is right here. Before Litecoin went down 60%. Before XRP went down 55%. Solana actually had a lot better. Let's look at Cardano. Before Cardano went down 62%. Before Atom went to zero, and I'm not trolling, okay? Here's the COVID low, right here, yeah? And this is where it went to. It dropped quite literally to zero. Okay, when I mouse over this right here, it's gonna say L up here. L stands for low, okay? You can see 0.001 went to fucking zero, okay? Alright, everything is going to zero. Find out later if you want to. You ain't seen shit yet. 11:06 p.m. This is before the dump began, right? 11:06. Okay, 11:06. It's still up here, right? You ain't seen shit yet. Wait for 107k sweep. That will crash the price minus 20% at least, given how stubborn those lows were. Moonboy is about to find out. Okay, everything is going to zero. Find out later if you want to. Then Bitcoin started capitulating. I'm like, this is pretty obvious, right? Well, the problem is in the altcoins, because the altcoins, it was obvious, right? So first of all, Ethereum made a move higher than I thought in the previous video I made, but overall, the idea of sweeping high by 5 to 10% played out, you know? So distribution before zero, question mark, like basically pointing out how like here it went sideways for like 60 days and so on after that swept the range low between 2.1 and 4.1k, and here it swept the range high by of the range of 2.1 4.1k, and it dumped hard, right? So like it dumped here from 39.79 to like 3400. Okay, next one. XRP. XRP forecasting a bear market with these shit lows. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder what happens when you bounce here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and you approach the eighth time, right? You know what happens? Say goodnight, moon boys. Okay. It starts capitulating a bit. Okay. Guess how much it went down? 60% beneath where I posted XRP forecasting a bear market with these shit lows. You can thank me later for that one. Okay, next one. Cardano. Say goodnight, moon boys. 11:17 p.m. Okay, pay attention to this. 11:17 p.m. 56 cents. 11:23 p.m. So that's 6 minutes later. Okay, it got cut in half. It went from 56 cents to 27 cents. Follow my Twitter if you want to see this in real time. Okay, because it's all posted there. Also, BTC looks like trash. Okay, this was the 2021 peak, right, with these bearish divergences on the weekly. This is the current peak, what I believe is probably the peak, as I pointed out here, with these weekly bearish divergences. It looks really bad. But BTC can still recover compared to other things. I don't think it will. There's nothing bullish about it at all. But it looks less bad than some of the other altcoins and so on, right? However, I just don't think that this looks like nice structure. But, it's been bad before, and it's been alright. So how can I say that this is over, right? The one thing I want to point out to you is this. When S&P 500 made a new all-time high back in June, I pointed out how uh, if S&P 500 invalidates daily bearish divergence, it's probably just expanding volatility, something like this with higher highs and lower lows. Is it possible for S&P to reach 7K in a few months if it invalidates most of the divergence? Yeah, for sure, but be open-minded to this because there are a lot of similarities. Because it did this here, right? So it just looks like expanding volatility. Shit probably goes to zero in a few months, perhaps 7K first, check tweet above. It's got expanding volatility and it looks like higher highs, lower lows. Breakdown from 7K after equals not very nice. That means it goes up 4.8K like during COVID. It's the same structure and it's got the same divergences. Looks like the debt enjoyers want to get upon the 7K before 4K. And here I pointed this out, right? It's a time invoice because, and by the way, like it closed down at 6,500 and then weekend Wall Street apparently went down somewhere over here. So it was like a, I don't know, big minus 8% day or something. Uh, but the thing is, right? Like if you're bullish, you should look for the 2-year yield. If this breaks down, it's really fucking bad because it means people are buying bonds. People are buying bonds. It's a liquidity rotation. Like people are buying safety and liquidity. They're getting out of risk. Okay, that's how interest rates go down. So interest rates going down, yes, it makes it cheaper to borrow money, but it doesn't outweigh the liquidity rotation, as in people selling their assets to buy those bonds, which is how you get lower interest rates to begin with. Okay, so lower interest rates never bullish historically. I was wrong about the all-time high on the Nikkei, like over here. I was like really bearish, it's like over here, like expecting it to go to below these lows. Uh, the day it made a new all-time high, I admit that I was wrong in the short term. I still think the structure in general it's gonna play out, but I don't know about the timing. I have no idea. But I admit that I was wrong the day it did, just like with S&P 500. However, it doesn't change the structure. Those lows are going to go. I'm personally 90% sure of it. That's the worst part about this. So here's what we have. And again, when did I write this? At 7:24 p.m. So this is like 4 hours before the liquidation event and everything. The Nikkei has bad structure at 30K and 25.5K. SPX has expanded volatility like I wrote about in a few tweets up, with higher highs and lower lows. BTC bad lows at 107K. XRP bad daily lows. ETH done everything bullish I thought it would do months ago. Just my opinion. Let me point out a few other things. So if we look at, I'm gonna bring up 3 different videos. Give me one sec. So let's bring up the Ethereum chart. So first of all, as you know, uh, although of course there was this moon boy on my Twitter, right, talking about shit, trying to like talk shit to me. No, on YouTube rather. Like this guy, literally retarded. You know, you can if you're bearish on Ethereum, right here, right? Like you're okay. Let's go through all the charts, okay? First of all, if you're bearish on XRP, right, Omega Prank.exe assume me things. Lots of bulls to know about the pranks, meaning they're gonna get their stop lost, right? Um, and I even wrote here in the high time frame got fucked on XRP, which I mean you found out, right? But anyways, look at this. So XRP dumped from that level, right? And then we have the next chart, which was Dogecoin, and it looked like this. And now we have the next chart, which is Ethereum, from 4476. So pay attention to this number, okay? That ended up looking like this, okay? So 4476. So I was bearish on Ethereum from 4476. So that's up here, okay? Down to, I said my valuation was 4300. So I was still correct about the move. It's just that I didn't think it would go back up here. But I was overall more correct than I was wrong. Like as in it didn't go above the high, right? From where I was turned bearish. And then here I admit that I was wrong in the short term about it going up more, but I was overall right about the move. Okay. And this Moonboy, of course, wrote this. Great contra indicator, thanks. When crypto fellas panic, you know it's time to buy and soon it will skyrocket. Yeah, bro, just buy, 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 buy. Then see them get back to them on top and see them analyze them on YouTube and X and babble about how awesome these centralized scam coins are and then sell it all the way back to them and focus on the real thing. There is only one monetary system. You need to improve. I think it's because you just game and eat candy slash wheat slash soda and don't eat meat nor do any sports gym outdoor stuff so you lack rational way of thinking which low testo does to a man. Eat beef, butter, eggs, no fap, sleep, study, real stuff like building cars. Do this man stuff instead of following some whatever on X. Buy an old car, learn by doing it, start from something, and find a woman. Take care. So if you're bearish from 4500 to 3800 and then at 4300 you say it's probably no longer bearish, right? That's your validation. You're still right. Like you were bearish while the market was bearish. Okay, and it's still you still flipped from a lower price than when you turned bearish. Of course, these moonbuys can't see this. Anyways, um, let's look at two different videos. So first of all, before Ethereum went to the moon, right? Like, you wanna see it? Blaming me if it doesn't play out and so on. But in my view, it is literally the best long ever for something like this after. And nobody is gonna understand why this happened. Hopefully. So again, what date is this? You can see it in the bottom right. Is gonna understand why this happened. That's the 9th of May. Okay. Well, that did happen. Did it not happen? That quite literally happened. Okay. Up to here. All right. Well, what's the next thing? When Ethereum swept 4100, I spoke about this. And then I spoke about what I think is going to happen after. After 4100 sweep, this is what I think happens after. It just makes sense from a liquidity standpoint. Get the fuck out later or get hurt badly. But the fun is not over yet. It's still got upside. And it could sweep 4100 by quite a bit. Possibly a new all-time high. All of that happened. Just don't get excited when it happens, because you'll get obliterated if you go full moon tar and never get out. Throw the whole potato to the next full after that. Okay? Here are the different paths. So you already know what I think is going to happen next. Okay? Based on this. Okay? I was bearish on it on the way down. I was bullish on it here, and I've been bearish now. Okay, and you can see the distribution idea that I have in mind, right? So what do you think happens next? In my opinion, it's gonna go down here. That's what I think is gonna happen. Um, is it still a recovery for BTC? Maybe. But again, like I'm not sure what to tell you guys. Like if you think that these altcoins can recover, you know. And by the way, I pivoted my view. I was bullish on this one before it like popped, you know, to the upside. Like it was fucking bullish, right? Shit looks insanely bullish with all equalize. Uh, from $26, right? And this shit went to like $35, right? And here I wrote looks fucked. Right? Yeah, it ended up being fucked. It dropped 70% from when I tweeted that. So, you know, it's a good thing to pivot your view here and there. Because otherwise you get wrecked, like a million boy. Um, a lot of these coins just made equal lows. So, I mean, we can keep doing this over and over, but like I think you understand what's going on. Because, yeah. Now, let me ask you, okay? Because you might go like, oh, that was so bad, that was so painful, that's the bottom. You, this is called cognitive dissonance. Like something just dumped like over 60%, and you're like, oh, that's the low, bro. We're the bottom. Maybe temporarily, but let me ask you something very simple. Who moves crypto? Is it only moon boys, or is it also billionaires? It's billionaires, right? Do you think? And they go like, buy the dip. I just asked them a simple question. Where is your stop loss? They go, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Look at the chart. Are you gonna have your stop loss 50% lower? That's why you can't buy the dip. And by the way, you're all so retarded for doing that. Like, look at fucking Luna, okay? When Luna went to fucking zero, okay? We had a minus 50% daily candle yesterday, right? Well, that's like this candle here. You can see it right here. When I'm also over this, okay? Minus 52.6%. You're gonna buy the dip. Nice. It still goes down 100%. Even if you buy there, like at the very fucking low, and you sell here at the very like top of the rebound, down 70%. Stop being retarded. Stop being a retarded fucking moon boy, man. Y'all are fucking stupid for doing shit. Like, you're so stupid. It's crazy. Where are you gonna have your stop loss? 50% lower? You can buy the dip, it might go to the moon. But, like, you don't have risk management. And if you're trying to rationalize things going minus, it went back to the bear market. This is a new low, bro, on AVAX, okay? You see it going back to here. Like, come on, man. What about this one? I was bullish on this one, like, last year. Remember I made videos about this, talking about this, gave you a trade. It actually perfectly worked out, gave you like 13 risk reward, right? Well, this one had bad lows here as well, which I had been pointing out. It had a low here, it had a low here, I had a low here, a low here, a low here, a low here. It swept the fucking lows by like 65%. And it dumped in total like 75%. This is not very complicated, but you all are just behind the dip, right? Yeah, it's a bull market, bro. Again, like it's up to you, right? But like if you can't see this, this is the craziest ever. See in the 30Ks next year? Question mark. About 8% share at the top. Really doubt it's not. The chart is disgusting, right? But it was before the dump. It just looks so bad. If you think this is a bull market, ask yourself, why did everything go minus 70% in about 30 minutes? Also, why would someone that can catch the knife and bring it back up have the invalidation? Are they going to have a 70% from here? Please stop and think. Look at the weekly bearish divergences. Whatever. It's up to you, right? This is technicals. It's just like the technicals pointed towards something before everything fucking broke down. And this is what your fucking watch list look like. You know what I'm saying? So you can sit there and cry all you want about this shit if you want to be a stupid fucking moon boy. But, like again, before this all happened, it was fucking obvious, bro. 107k super. This is a full day before. Yeah? You're not like you're not gonna get away with putting your stop loss beneath there. And guess what? You didn't. No shot. Sweeping these all times by like pathetic amounts. Weekly bearish, it looks like shit. Now I have to say though, BTC, like, I mean, it could do anything in the short term. Like, it could go up, could go down. I don't know. It's too random. The higher time frame structure on BTC is technically fine. Like, the weekly structure is still fine. The issue is the weekly bearish divergences and what just happened to the rest of the fucking shit. And Ethereum looks like terrible and so on. And you know what this reminds me of? This big down candle right here. It looks like December 4th, 2021. Remember this wick here? Okay, so we bounced around here. And then what happened? I don't know, like about a month later, we were back down to the low. Normally, you go back down to the low during big liquidation events like this on most things. So they might go up in the short term, sure. Uh, but like none of these people are traders. They're all a bunch of noobs. They don't understand liquidity. They don't have risk management clearly because they just say buy the dip. Okay, where's your stop loss? 50% from here? They have no stop loss. They just buy and hope for the moon. Nice. Good luck to you. Take care and peace.